lesson is all about sunlight, and I wanted to find and create a really fun activity for my students to really understand just exactly how sunlight affects us on Earth. And I believe that the activity and investigation that I put together really will be beneficial for this exact reason. So at the end of the lesson, my students will know how the sun heats up specific things on Earth, and at the conclusion of this lesson, the students will be able to record what happened in their experiment and communicate their results. So I'm going to walk you through the PowerPoint that I will show my students when I do present this to them, just as a guide to let them have a visual of the next steps to do. So, for my anticipatory set, I would show my students this photo and I would say, what do you notice about this photo? And they'd have time to turn and talk, and we would have a classroom discussion all about what they see. And in this photo, you can see that the sun is just glistening down onto the forest, onto the grass, and really just making an impact on the environment. So I want my students to notice that the sun is, very important to us. It gives us light, it's how we see. And then I'm going to advance them a little more just to, get their minds thinking about the sun. So then I'm going to go into a short PowerPoint just to give my students some info about the sun and some things that they may know, but they don't realize that they know. And I just want to clarify it with them and let them understand that what we're really going to find out today in the investigation that we do. So the sun warms of the earth and gives it light. The sun shines on earth, the earth rotates, and this is why we have day and night. This is a concept that I'm not sure all kindergartners will know. So it's important for them to realize that, okay, like we go outside, we see the sun, and it's daytime. And then once night falls and we get ready for bed and we're ready to end our days, we have to realize that this is because the earth is rotating and the sun is no longer with us for the time being. The sunlight warms the surface of earth. Rocks, water, sand, plants, and animals all get their warmth from the sun. And then this is going to take us one step further into our investigation on what we're going to be doing. Sunlight is really what we're going to focus on here, and exactly how does it heat up and give light to rocks, water, sand, plants, and animals. All living things need sun. This is something that we know, but sometimes we don't realize this, especially as kindergartners. The sun is just there. You don't really know the significance of it. So in this picture, you see the butterflies, you see the animals, the plants are growing, the grass is growing, and this is all happening because of the sun. So I'm going to ask my students, identify other items that get their warmth from the sun. So this is going to have them really thinking about things that are outside, some materials that that the sun beats on. For example, I have the playground for them to realize, oh, like the sun really heats up a slide on a really hot day. When I slide down, I'm like, oh my goodness, that must hurt because it's so hot. And then just on the beach, you see that the sun's glistening on the ocean and just covering everything. And then we have another environment. So I really want to give my students time to turn and talk and discuss and think about other items that are in their everyday lives that the sun affects that they just really haven't taken the time to realize. So that's when the investigation is going to happen, and I'm going to explain to them what we're going to be doing to just find out a little bit more information on exactly how the sun does heat up things on Earth. So each group is going to get 2 ice cubes and 2 Zip-Bop baggies. And the baggies can just be like this with the ice in them. And make sure there's 2 of them. And then there's also going to be 1 piece of white construction paper and 1 piece of black construction paper. So this is going to be explained what to do next. And then the students will also get an experiment worksheet. And this isn't just a worksheet of like, oh, let's learn from the worksheet. This is a worksheet that they can use to record their findings. So, beginning of the experiment, they'll be able to draw their ice cubes. What do you think is going to happen? Which I'll explain more as the presentation continues. So, I will definitely group the children based on ability, make sure they're partnered with somebody that is, they can work well with and they can share ideas off of. So predict with your group what your group thinks might happen to the ice cubes, which will melt first. So you have ice cubes on a black piece of paper outside, and then you have ice cubes on a white piece of paper outside. So what do you think is going to happen? The children are going to have to use their background knowledge and predict what they believe might happen when the ice sits out in the sunlight for a certain amount of time. We already discussed that it gets warm and it warms things up when the sun is beating on it, but now they can really take it to the next step and think of, okay, what materials or what objects are going to become more warmth or more hot based on having contact with the sun. Now, this is when we'll be able to perform our investigations. We'll wait about 10 minutes and the students will observe in their groups at this time. And I love the fact that this experiment is performed outside because it gives the students an opportunity to become outdoors. Most of the time, studies are performed inside the classroom, and it kind of gets old after a while, to be honest. So I love the fact that this experiment can really get the kids outside, enjoying the sun, and really experiencing what the sun is doing with the materials that they're presented with. So about after 10 minutes and they've already, wrote down what they believed was going to happen, now the students are going to be welcomed back into the classroom after they've had time to communicate with their groups. And we're going to talk about what really happened in your experiment. Is it what you expected? Does everyone have the same results? What were your results? So what happened? Did the ice cube melt more when it was on the black piece of paper? Did the ice cubes melt more when it was on the white piece of paper? Do you know why this happened? Why do you think this happened? These are questions that the students will be asked, and they will have plenty of time to talk and discuss and share their ideas. So, once we have discussed it and communicated, I'll ask this question to them. If you were to go outside on a really hot day, would you wear a black shirt or a white shirt? And why? So this is bringing into real life, and it's also allowing the students to apply to what they learned in the investigation to how it's going to benefit them in the future. So it's not like, oh, the ice cube just melted, I'm over this. It's, oh, wait, like, this, what if I wear this kind of shirt outside? Am I gonna be cooler? Am I gonna be more hot if I wear this shirt outside? And I remember plenty of days when I was younger and I wore a purple or a black shirt on a really hot day, and I was thinking like, why did I wear this color shirt when I could have been much cooler in a white, cream, light yellow shirt, So it's important for these kids, once we do teach them a lesson about the sun, that they can also understand why and how this will affect them in their real lives. So after this, I just want to clarify a couple of facts and things that we observed and figured out by doing our experiment. So dark colors absorb more heat than lighter colors, which is what we should have expected from the experiment. I'm sure all students will have the same results due to the black paper being heated up much faster than the white. The black paper and the ice cubes will have melted more significantly. And that's not to say it might not happen. You never know, but if that does happen, it will definitely be addressed. So dark colors absorb more of the sun's energy. Light colors reflect the sun's energy. And then, did your results of this investigation agree? It's okay if it didn't. It's totally okay if, your results aren't the same as what you anticipated or what most of your friends got, but, you know, it's science, it's, you know, having fun and discovering new information and learning new things. So hopefully you like this, and thank you.